last year, year before, called Young Hustler. His name is Darius.
Oh, nice.
He's Polish.
Polacks are hustlers. I'll tell
I
you that.
spoke to him yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I get what you mean about the banking. I spent like an entire summer just, you know, setting up appointments, going to like credit unions, talking to banks to see like if I can open up credit cards, if I can open up bank accounts with them, and just figuring out which ones would accept me, understanding that it was a long, tedious process,
Yeah.
especially because, you know, you have to go in person, make appointments, and then a lot of people like, you know, even recently, nowadays I don't have too many problems. Like I go to the bank and I print out like a document, right? And I
One second,
highlight
you can
things.
continue. Give me 1 second. I'll be
Sure.
back.
Sure. So nowadays what I do is I print out a document, right? I start highlighting things on the document, right? Explaining my business model. Because if I go into a bank like cold and I ask them that, hey, I need 5 bank accounts for my new corporation, they're gonna be like, what do you need it for? What kind of scam or fraud you're operating? Like that, people get freaked out when you open up a corporation and all of a sudden you ask for multiple checking accounts.
Yeah.
So I have to go into it very like organized in a very systematic way where I have to pretty much sell the business and explain to them the entire process from A to Z. Because we're Canadians, you know, like we're gonna face the same problems, yeah. Originally, when I started, you know, I used to think that everybody drop shipping was from America. I used to really feel isolated that I'm the only one facing these Canadian problems, right? Like some of the access that they had, right? Even in selling in the US, I didn't start that until like a year back. You know what I mean? Before that, I was just doing it in the Canadian market. I dabbled in other things, right? Remember, it was not that profitable though. It just because I scaled it like very deeply. You know, I made multiple accounts. Everything that we do here is not, in my opinion, like the way our business model runs is not special. Like the tool that we have is not anything special or anything like that. I think what it is in the end of the day, right, is we just figured out that we have a solution to scale one eBay account to 1 to 3,000 in profit pretty instantly if we wanted. One click of a button, you find 10,000 products. Another click, you go ahead and list 10,000 products, right? And then we found out that if you this account can make 1 to 3,000, and then if you can do that on one account, let's make 10 accounts. Let's make 30. Let's make 100. That's all we really do here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, but that concept is the same for pretty much any business model.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I wanted to ask you like about this Amazon because I saw your video. It was very informative, a very, very good video. It kind of opened my mind, and I thought, oh, maybe I can start Amazon again. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but I guess the question I have is around a couple of things. So first, I saw that you have a separate phone, usually a separate phone, hooked up to a separate laptop, running a Wi-Fi, right? So you tether to give it a totally separate network
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
you've been, for whatever reason, your prior account was closed, so you don't want to have Amazon track you again,
Exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
figure out that you're that person. So I do have a couple of other laptops I could probably use, or I could have my main laptop that I use right now on the eBay, just format it, right, so that it's a clean slate. But you mentioned that you set up five different Amazon accounts after under 5 different Chrome profiles
Yeah.
on one laptop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that works actually, all right? The Amazon doesn't think it's the same
No, they
machine.
do. They do, but
It's 5 different profiles.
so they do. So first of all, like, what's the question? Like, you're trying to figure out how to open up multiple Amazon accounts, right?
That's one thing. If that actually works, right? Like five different. So should I go with five accounts to start with? That's my question number one. Question number two.
Depends
Uh,
on depends on your method. Like, so
Okay.
what's your second question? Maybe we can tie it all together.
Yeah, so I know there was an issue when I started to open up a new Amazon. I wanted to open up a new Amazon account. It asked me for a phone number. So
Hmm.
I think I ended up finding different, there's providers, right? For phone. You can get a free phone number. So I
Yeah,
ended up doing that, but there was always an issue where they somehow connected me. So
yeah,
I couldn't set up that new account. So I
gotcha.
think you mentioned on during the video that you actually open up a seller account first, where
That's
there's an
one
option,
technique. Yeah.
right? It doesn't ask you for a phone number, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like let me give you the answer to what you're asking, yeah? So if your objective is to open up Amazon accounts, first of all, how many Amazon accounts you need depends on the scale of your operation. So if you have, generally speaking, one Amazon account, 1 to 2 Amazon accounts is enough
Mm-hmm.
for one account, one eBay account with our method.
Okay.
Because you don't get that many sales. You'll maybe get after you get 10,000 listings, maybe you'll get anywhere from like 3 to 7 orders a day or something like that, but they'll be profitable orders.
Okay.
So with that being said, the amount, the quantity of items that are going to be that are going to be ordered on Amazon is not going to be something that is to worry about. If you're getting
Mm-hmm.
100 orders a day and you're pushing it on one account, that is troublesome.
Right. Right.
That is when the
Okay.
problems begin.
You should get away with up to 10, maybe 10 accounts, 10 orders a day. But
Mm-hmm.
you always want to have the second Amazon account ready because you don't want to be caught
Yes.
where
Mm-hmm.
the Amazon account gets shut down and then you can't
Yeah.
fulfill the orders.
So you basically take one of those either city credit cards or whatever the other one was. I forgot the name of the other credit card where you can set up a free employee credit card cards,
Right, right.
different address,
So
right?
let me tell you let me tell you about how to create Amazon accounts. Once you understand the theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you go ahead and adjust it as needed.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is we have to understand, why does Amazon close your accounts,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you don't have any selling history or anything like that, or any purchase history, and they close your account, it's because you have fallen into their patterns of fraud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, some actions or behavior that you did is very is very synonymous with all other fraudsters, right?
Yep.
So what you want to do is, first of all, you have to separate yourself from fraudsters in that case. And the other reason why Amazon closes accounts is because maybe you went ahead and ordered too many items and it's unusual activity for them,
Yeah.
and they went ahead
That,
and shut you down for
that's
it.
that's the case. That's the case because we were, like I said, we were pushing 100 orders,
Yeah,
over 100 sometimes. This last couple of, even like 2 3 months ago. So
yeah, yeah.
that was the case.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. So what you want to do, if you're gonna do that, then you should
Mm-hmm.
invest into like a good, strong setup to make multiple Amazon accounts. So the
Yeah.
first thing that you'll need, right, is multiple devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, forget about, like, people have made it on privacy browsers, like Go Login or things like that. However, that, like, I don't have experience with that. I know people who do, right? And some of them are successful, but they still run into problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the most tried and tested way where it's hard to fail is when you go ahead and have multiple devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have 10 laptops, right?
Mm-hmm.
You format it so that each of them do not have any history that's associated with the prior account.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So once you do that, like, go for the most common one, right? If you go ahead, let's say you format a laptop that was a limited edition and you're the only one in the world that has,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even if you format it, Amazon is going to know it's you. So you have to go ahead and be a part of the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Find a device that is not unique at all, like which majority of people are using to go on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
MacBooks are a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about finding the cheapest one, it's about
Mm-hmm.
finding the most commonly used laptop on Amazon. So that's the
Yeah.
first thing that you do. The second thing is you go ahead and you get an IP address for that device that, again, is common, right? It
Mm-hmm.
cannot be obscure. Like, let's say you own an internet company or whatever and you only use that for Amazon and you got suspended. Now
Mhm.
Amazon has blacklisted the entire subnet that you're working with. But if
Yeah.
it's mobile IPs,
Mhm.
Amazon is not going to go ahead and blacklist all of the mobile IP addresses. Why?
Mhm.
Because it is common, right? You'll lose a huge user base if you do that. So
So,
that's
so let me just stop you there for a second.
yeah.
So, what do you do to get that? Do you go out and buy a new SIM card for the phone, right? I have a separate iPhone that I could
Mhm.
use for this. So, I think I'm going to have to go and get a SIM card and get some sort of an internet plan on this, right?
Yes. So like because you're in Canada, I can tell you what I do as a Canadian, right? So Rogers has a mobile plan, right? I use Rogers because it's the
Me
most
too.
common one. Yeah. So there we go, right? They also have an additional plan called the the tablet data plan. So what
Hmm.
they do is they let you share your data across other tablets and they provide you a SIM card that you pay $10 a month for. So
No
let's say
kidding.
yeah, I'm telling you, that's the it took a lot of research to find this in Canada.
Hmm.
So what I did was I went ahead and got like 10 tablet data plans and I synced it and it uses the data from my Rogers phone. And now I go ahead and have 10 different access points for, to get an IP address
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a network. So now I put those in 10 different phones and I
Hmm.
use those IP addresses to
Hmm.
access Amazon. So
Hmm.
mind you, it is a Canadian IP with US, and I'm going on the US, so it is gonna be a little more troublesome. But
Hmm.
the way you do it is because you're a Canadian, the right way of going about it is you make an Amazon Canada account, right? Use a different name, use a different address, use a different email.
A Canadian account, Amazon Canadian account, right?
Yeah, because remember, like we're in Canada, right? Like
Yeah,
making an Amazon.com account, right,
yeah.
is gonna set off triggers off the bat.
That'll be a flag. Yeah, that'll be a
Yeah,
red flag.
but for somebody in Amazon and in the US, you go make an Amazon.com account first.
Hmm.
But when you make an account on Amazon.com, you have an account for every other Amazon in the
Hmm.
world. So you make an Amazon Canada account, and let's say you're getting Amazon is asking you for your phone number. They're asking you for your phone number for a very specific reason, because it's unusual activity, right?
Hmm.
You don't get asked for phone numbers if you try to make an account and you're like a real person.
Hmm.
If they detect like some fraudulent activity, or if your IP address is bad or your device is bad or something, or it's
Hmm.
linked with fraud,
Hmm.
then they're gonna ask you for your phone number. So what do? You have to build, trust on the platform before you even make the account. So that
Yeah.
means that if you're getting asked for a phone number, you should probably go ahead and before you make the account, browse on Amazon for a bit, add something to your cart, build some history.
Yeah.
Once they find out, they had enough time to because think about it, the number one way fraudsters make an account is they go to Amazon.com, right? They go ahead and click register, and then right away they make an account, right?
Mm.
That is a part of the patterns of fraud, that specific activity.
Yeah.
So when you go outside of that pattern,
Hmm.
now you are not in part of that patterns of fraud.
Hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you go ahead, you browse whatever you find whatever, like you have to play around a bit until you don't get asked for your
Hmm.
phone number. But if you don't get asked for your phone number, it's a sign that
Hmm.
your system and setup is clean.
Hmm.
So this is the
Hmm.
first thing that you do, right?
Okay.
You make your account, right? And then you don't get asked for your phone number. Then you go ahead and you browse again, right? You add something into your cart, you don't do anything. You come back the next day, right? And then you go ahead and then switch to Amazon.com. You log in
Hmm.
again, build some history for a day, right?
Hmm.
You browse around, you play around, whatever.
Hmm.
And then you go ahead and you buy Prime membership on the account and you
Hmm.
wait a day again.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
browse around, and then the next day you go ahead and you come in and you purchase your first item and you
Hmm.
send it to the billing address
Hmm.
like that associated with the card.
Hmm.
So the main thing that to understand here is what you want to do is the first order you always want to go ahead and ship it to the billing address of the
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So the point where when I register the Prime account, that's when I'm going to have to actually register the whole account, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, like when you press Prime, yeah, they ask you for your billing statement and stuff. You
Yeah.
ask you for your card and stuff at that point.
Okay. So, all right. So first browse on Canadian Amazon, and then next day browse on American Amazon, and then maybe next day purchase the Prime and purchase.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully they're not going to ask me for the phone number. We'll see.
Yeah, like if they do, you know, you just like remember they only ask you for the phone number, but if you don't put the phone number, your account hasn't been registered yet,
Mhm.
right? So that means just start browsing again and then try again tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
But when
the
you're purchasing the Prime, they will verify the address and so on. So that should get you by.
yeah, exactly. That's why you wait a day. That was
Yeah.
like for the authorization and everything. If you go ahead and make the order right after you buy Prime, that is unusual for them.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
see. So only buy Prime first, but not the item.
Yeah, you can do
Right.
you yeah that's the way we go about it because when you purchase Prime, right, that is normal activity and
Mhm.
but it takes like an hour or 2 hours for them to go ahead and charge your card actually or do the
Mhm.
authorization. Sometimes 20 minutes, but
Mhm.
it's just better to go ahead and build some history, add
Yeah.
something to the cart, don't purchase it yet, and then
Mhm.
come back tomorrow and order the item.
All right, I'm gonna dust off my old laptop and my
Yeah.
old iPhone and go to Rogers tomorrow.
I'm
Nice.
telling you. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Yeah,
Uh,
that's the
guys, I unfortunately I'm gonna have to wrap it up because
no worries.
you don't know that, but I'm actually an English teacher. I tutor English to Koreans.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
kind of my side hustle too.
That's
So
awesome, man. Yeah.
I got a class coming up right now, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. No, it was good talking to you, man. Thanks for joining
yeah.
the call, yeah?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. This is very informative, and I'm gonna sign up for your trial. That's the
Sure. Sounds like a plan, man. All right,
awesome.
Okay,
man.
but
Okay,
okay,
great
We'll keep in
chat.
Mark.
touch.
Love it. Okay,
Alrighty.
take care, guys.
Take care.